Don, when did you put this big sign on your house?
Oh, about a month ago.
Where'd you get the letters?
We took them down from all the shell stations, and we were going to throw them away, so me and the boss had a crazy idea, and we decided to put them up.
Well, now, your house is here just north of Love Field, but is there a message for pilots or something?
Oh, it's just a joke. I never intended any of them to take me serious about it.
Is that right? Well, let me ask you this. Is the noise level, this close to the airport, is it really as bad as people say?
It sure is.
How bad does it get?
Well, after a while, you get used to it. But...
I'm sorry, could you speak up a little, Don?
Well...
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
After a while, you get used to it, but...
let's don't shout anymore. I think he's gone. You say what now?
After a while, you get used to it, you know, but when you first get out here, it's kind of loud.
You get used to it, you say?
Yes, sir.
You're real sure about that?
Well, some people do. I have, kind of.
Don, thank you very much. So, let's put it this way. No matter how slow news gets on a Saturday, there's always room for one more shh. This is Jim Mitchell, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Well, we have to move, for example, toward the better energy resources. I mentioned already getting toward atomic energy. We have to move toward the automobile, which is one of the major polluters. We have to find cleaner ways in which we can get around. I think we have to possibly even cut down on our high, we might call standard of living. I'm not sure you can call it a quality of living.
Are we making effective moves in these directions now?
I believe we are getting headed in that direction.
We're going to have to hit a little faster, aren't we?
I think if, with the start, the momentum that has been picked up now in the last year or two, that I'm quite satisfied with the progress. As long as we keep it up, we must not slack off at this point.
Well, number one, we have to develop more meaningful procedures whereby we guarantee that individuals will have an opportunity first. Secondly, we have to provide the kind of advice and assistance that's necessary to aid minority group contractors or business people in terms of being able to get bonding, being able to acquire the kind of management assistance that will be necessary. In addition to this, we also have to provide assistance to them in terms of getting the capital that's necessary, because basically minority group businesses have four major problems, those four problems that I mentioned.
Is this a giveaway program? Why should HUD and the government get involved in letting more contracts to minority businessmen?
Because one of the key things that I think that if we want to get to a point of where minorities feel that they have a vested interest in this society, we're going to have to give them a piece of the action. So basically, by involving minorities in our programs, there isn't any question. We're moving towards resolving what we feel is the major problem in this country today, and that's the whole problem of the turmoil and conflict in our cities.
We have been lax, and we have not had provided for us a trained ministry to a large degree, and particularly now, a ministry that's trained to lead in the times that we're living in. And therefore, we're calling for this kind of trained ministry who will be able to serve congregations and to develop black disciples who are able to make their contribution to the changing of the society in which we live.
Do you think the society really wants ministers? Don't they really want community organizers? Take, for instance, for example, Reverend Jesse Jackson. He doesn't have the sheepskin of a minister, but he's got the sheep. What's more important?
Of course, you're saying that a community organizing is not the function of ministry, and I'm saying that it is. that this is one of the functions of ministry, and that a trained minister today should be trained in organizing a community, should be trained in leading his people from where they are to where they ought to be.
If you go to school, you spend 5 days in the classroom looking forward to the weekend and perhaps a beautiful Saturday afternoon in the park. But if the park isn't pretty, that Saturday afternoon won't be enjoyable. Bruce Williamson is the president of the Arlington Youth Council, and they decided to make a park pretty. This is Randol Mill Park in Arlington. Bruce, how did it all get started?
Well, about 3 weeks ago, we were sitting around in a meeting trying to think of some kind of project to do. So Ann Whittingale suggested that we clean up Randol Mill Park because it is kind of a dirty place, really. And so here we are today, just cleaning up the park.
And a good job they're doing. And believe me, it's catching. It makes you want to go out and pick up a little trash and make the park that you want to go to on Saturday afternoon a little prettier. This is Jerry Park, Channel 8 News on the move in a cleaner Randol Mill Park in Arlington.